Record. Hey guys, welcome. So I'm so excited today. I have my friend Nahala with us, and she is someone that I found out it's been a few months, hasn't it? I met you
Yeah, it has.
a few months. But I was super scared to learn AI in my business, and I wasn't even thinking about AI. And Nahala reached out and she talked with me and she gave me some super huge tips with AI that have completely changed the way that I do my business and Pinterest because I was so scared of using AI. So I wanted to hop on because I am all about saving time and helping you save time as a mom of five. I'm sure you guys know that like time is of the essence so that you can get your business done, get on, get off, and then focus on family. So I brought on Nahala because if you're feeling scared to use AI because you always sound like a robot or it sounds like a robot, you don't know what to ask it and you never get good stuff back, Nahala's here. She's going to give us 3 tips on how to use AI. So if you want to introduce yourself first, Nahala.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nahala. I graduated from MIT and I've recently started a product called Vision Quest. And the website is visionquestapp.com. And what it is it is a tool that uses AI and automation to make it easier for you to create content on Pinterest that drives traffic to your whatever product or service that you're selling. And as Charisse mentioned, one of the reasons that I'm working on this is I see that there's a lot of fear around AI, but when you know how to work with AI, you kind of become a superhuman. You get all these superpowers that you didn't know. And I've had a lot of fun working with AI the past couple of years. And so, yeah, let me share 3 tips on ways that you can work with AI if you've never used it or you're hesitant to. So, the first one I would say is that if you've never used AI, go ahead and try out ChatGPT, try out Claude. Both of those are really good, I would say, starting points to, interface with AI. The thing with um, ChatGPT and Claude and all of these AI large language models is what they call them, is that even the creators don't know the capabilities yet. So your imagination really is the limit. So maybe you want to ask it something. Yes.
I do. What's Claude? How do you spell it? I've never heard of Claude.
Oh, yes. So Claude is Claude, and it's similar to ChatGPT, but it's known to be a little bit better at writing. So
Okay.
if you have maybe an essay that you want to write, or you want to write a topic description for Pinterest, and you see that ChatGPT is not doing a great job, Claude is something that you can try out as well.
Okay.
Good questions. Yeah.
So the first
Um,
step is to get one of them. I've been trying with the Chat GPT free, but I still struggled with getting what I needed to get out.
Yeah, so with that, one of the big things too is like knowing how to work with it. So similar to like asking someone a question, right? It's like the answer that you get depends on the quality of your question, determines your response. And working with large language models like ChatGPT or Claude is very similar. So it's like when you know how to ask the right question, then your response is better. And tip number 2 is actually to tip the AI. So if you see that the AI is not doing a good response or it's being a little bit lazy, there's a lot of studies that show that, if you ask it to write you a 700-word blog, it might get lazy and like cut corners. So if you say something like, hey, write me this blog, if you do an excellent job, I'll give you a $200 tip. Statistically, it's shown there's studies that prove that it does a better job. So that's
No,
something to
you're
try
not
out.
actually giving them money.
Yes, exactly.
Can I throw something in here, guys?
Yeah.
So Nahala gave me this tip well over a month ago about tipping AI. And so I hopped into Chat GPT, the free one. I didn't even sign up for anything. And every time I hopped on it, I said, I'll tip you. And then sometimes I said, I'll tip you $200 or something like that. Well, after a few times of doing that, when I would hop on, I wouldn't even say I would tip you, but I would still get some really good content. So like I felt like even though I didn't sign up for it, it doesn't have my email, it just has me, it was still able to like work with what I gave it better than when it did before I talked about tipping it. Like, is that just because it works?
Yeah, every time you say that you're gonna tip it, whether or not it's free, you're on a free account or a paid account, the free and paid doesn't actually determine probably the quality. I'm not sure. There's a lot of open questions with AI, but I would say that's one of the things is like try it out and see what works for you. And that kind of goes back to this point about knowing how to ask it the question, because I'm sure as you asked it the question more and more, you also learned how to ask it the question in a way that it responds well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely. So the first one is try it out for free and then tip it. Okay.
Yeah. And then the third one is um, knowing how to prompt it. So let's say that you are asking it questions and you're seeing the response quality isn't as good as you want. It's really good to give the AI a role and say, hey, you are a Pinterest marketing expert. I want you to create a couple of pin title ideas. Give me 10 pin title ideas, and then for this brand, and then give it the context around what your brand is. And then you might see a much better response than if you were just like, hey, give me 10 Pinterest title ideas about this. You're not really giving the full context. And actually, this is where Vision Quest makes it easier so that you don't have to know all the underlying prompting ideas, the prompt engineering. There's a whole field around that. But you can just say, hey, this is my topic, these are my keywords, and this is my brand voice. I want it to sound casual or funny. And that's it. And under the hood, we have that prompt written for you.
That's cool. I like how you said you need to learn how to ask the right questions because I find that that is really hard. I listened to a podcast, I don't know how long ago, but she said she actually interviewed herself on the podcast or with Chat GPT. So she told Chat GPT, hey, I'm an email marketer. What 3 questions would you ask me as a podcast host to a business one? And so it was interesting to like, I don't know, there's so much different stuff like how to ask questions with it. So that's super helpful.
Yeah, it can teach you how to learn. It can write email drafts for you. It can even give you, like what you're saying, like, oh, I want to create a Pinterest account. Like, what would you think that I need to figure out first before I launch this new business or whatever it is? And you'd be surprised because it's just been trained on the whole internet. So there's a lot of knowledge and data in there. So when you know how to ask that question, you're able to get those insights that you're looking for.
And I definitely think that just starting out on it, like just getting used to the feel of it helps. And then when you start tipping it, then it's like, whoa, there's like so much more information and you can take bits and pieces and then learn how to ask the question better. So those 3 tips are just in perfect alignment because, and so I say from about 2 months ago when I started using AI, I mean, I'm not a professional like you, but I feel way more comfortable using it and it doesn't sound like a robot and it's easy to just say, hey, I want this a little bit more casual. Like there's a few times where I'll like add in a post and I'll say, can you just make this sound more casual or something or less robotic-y? And it does it for you.
Yeah, that's a really great point too. It's like you don't have to take the first response at face value because it's like a conversation. So exactly like you're saying, when your first response, you're like, oh, it wasn't the right tone of voice, you just ask it to change that. Then it's too long. You're like, oh, make it a little bit shorter. And so the first couple of times you might see that you're asking like 5 or 6 questions to get to the right response. But then the next time you're like, oh, I'm going to put all of that information into one question instead of saying, now make it casual, now make it shorter. You're like, give me this response. I want it to be this many words and I want it to be this tone of voice. And it will do a much better job the first question that you ask.
That is so good. I love that. I feel like the longer I teach about Pinterest, I don't want to say the more bored I get about it, but it's like, okay, how can I cover this topic in more ways to keep adding? So I know it's helped me with content creation where like it just gives me more ideas and different angles to look at writing articles that I can all pull out of, but instead of having to think forever about it, those thoughts come quicker to create that content. So those are such good tips. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for being here. So I wanted to share just really quick. I've been using AI. I've been using Vision Quest actually, and kind of doing AI for a few other businesses on the side for about 2 months. And it has made my content creation so much quicker. It has made my pin save, like creating the descriptions and titles on everything so much quicker. I'm getting better engagement on Pinterest because it's just finding these keywords and spitting everything out at a better way. I don't want to say I failed English class, but I am not a good writer. And so it's really helped me become a better writer. I mean, I've been writing for 8 years, so I've gotten better over the 8 years. But just these 2 months, AI has helped me just like jump even better in the voice and how I sound without making me not sound like me anymore. So that is super cool. So I wanted Nahala to show you what Vision Quest is because I'm all about saving time in your business. And before she does this, I just want you to know that Nahala and I have talked about this, and her app is actually catered to Pinterest organic growth. And it's actually catered a lot to what I teach in the POG Academy. So even if you don't do the POG Academy, if you're in or if you're not in it, this can still help you with content creation and pin creation. So do you want to show me
Yes.
how? Yes. Let me go ahead and let that sharing go.
Wonderful. Okay. So let me share with you. So this is the Vision Quest website. When you come in, you'll see something like this, and you can sign up for the free trial. And actually, if you sign up here with Cherise, there's a coupon code that will give you 10% off when you sign up for one of the yearly plans. So just make sure it's on yearly, enter the code that Cherise will give you, and then you'll get that 10% off. And once you go ahead and get onboarded, this is what the app looks like. So over here, you can see on the right a bunch of the different images that I have created in the past. There are realistic photos. There's also stylized images. So maybe your brand likes to do flat illustrations. You can do that using Vision Quest. Or maybe you have like a very specific thing that you need. You're running a promo on Christmas, something with cats, and it's really hard to find a stock image like that. That's really where the power of a tool like Vision Quest comes in, and using AI to customize and be super unique to your brand's needs. What you need to do to create your campaign, really easy. There's just a couple fields here on the left to set up your image, to set up your actual pin titles and descriptions. And then you can come in, design your pins, and then you'll be able to schedule them out. And that feature is coming very soon. So I think that's a great quick walkthrough.
Yes, I love that. So I have used this because if you guys have followed along at all, are you able to stop the screen share? And there we go,
Yes.
perfect. So I know with me, I create a freebie and I do maybe one freebie a year. And after I create 10 pins and I go through those and I create more, another 10 pins and I go through more. And I get so much fatigue of searching through stock photos, and even with Canva Pro, like after using Canva Pro for 4 years, like I've been there, done that, and I've seen all these images. So as I've used Vision Quest, I have been able to get these unique images that aren't anywhere on Pinterest. And I've been using it, the pin linking isn't there yet for me, but I've been using that, and I've been using the headlines and the descriptions, and I take them over to Canva, and it has saved me so much time. Like I've been able to save time creating pins and finding pictures and just the brain power of like having to think of descriptions, which you guys, I've been doing this for years, so it's already easy for me to do. But like this is just saving me so much more energy. So I can use that energy for either other things in my business or with my kids. And it has been such a game changer. So the biggest thing I want you to take away from this, whether you sign up for Vision Quest or not, oh, just before, the 10% discount is for the year plan. I highly recommend it because you will find all kinds of uses for your photos each month. It ends October 26th this year, 2024. So if you're watching this later or anything, that discount is in there. You can always reach out and see if there's another one or not, but that's for right now, this coming week with that. But what I really want you to take away with this is AI doesn't have to be scary and it doesn't have to sound like a robot. So start practicing with the platform, give it some tips. You're not actually going to tip the platform, but just saying give it some tips will bring out enough words that it doesn't sound like a robot that you can take from that and play around with it to give your voice or you're more specific. And then with Vision Quest, if you have like a pineapple in every image or like what your brand is, that's what I love about Vision Quest is I can actually add in my brand without having to spend the time in Canva creating my brand. And so it just saves so much time everywhere with that. And AI doesn't have to be scary, guys. I don't know how many times I've told
Yeah.
Nahala, I am just so scared. so scared of using it, but I played around with it and it didn't take a lot of time to actually pick up on how to use it better and better. So, do you have any last thoughts about AI or Vision Quest or anything?
No, I think what you said is perfect. Just yeah, don't be scared. Try it out. See what it can do for you because there's so much beyond just your Pinterest account as well that it can start to streamline and automate parts of your day where you'd take like where it would be tedious, right? So it's not I think there's this fear that AI is going to take over, and I think that's not true. It's like when you learn to work with it, it actually makes our lives easier, more productive. As Shreese shared, it's easy to learn things. I found the same in my life. Like beyond this, I also use it to help me code certain things, create certain emails. It just has become like a partner in so many ways. So I would highly recommend starting to play around, have a kind of like a playful attitude towards it.
I love that. I love how you mention it as a partner because it is nice. I mean, sometimes I feel like we have to search in Google for this, but then you feel like you're copying other people's ideas. Where with AI, I'm like, you can take their idea and mix it with your idea, and it's not like you're taking the other. So I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nahala, for being here and for sharing with us this 10% discount. Guys, I've been using it for 3 months now, and I absolutely love all the images. And if you are an entrepreneur, chances are you probably have more than one business. And so you can do all different sizes of images and different descriptions for Instagram and all of that stuff. So it is super cool. If you guys have any questions, go ahead, comment down below. We'll share the link down below and we will chat with you guys another time, okay? Thanks
Yeah,
for being here.
thank you
Bye.
guys. Bye.